Anyway, there is a piece of wood that you see there, right in front of the lady. Okay, a piece of wood. There is a tree that grows in the desert, which is called carrot bean tree. When you cut a piece of this tree and burn both ends, you make, this piece of wood like a piece of rock. You sieve up the porous, making this piece of wood unrottable. Okay, and it was used as a sort of lintel, as you see down there. Okay? Instead of a rock, they use a piece of wood. And through the testing of this piece of wood, the guys who study these aqueducts were able to find out about the dating, because there is a radio, what's it called, 14 system, to use carbon dated, 14 carbon dated to use to date, how old these pins are. So it gave this dating between 400 and 600 years after Christ. So this is how so it means that the Nascas were the ones who built this, because they stayed in this territory until 700 years after Christ. The solution when these guys, built up the aqueducts, they sorted out the problem of lack of rain. They had enough volume of water, but the culture became already weak. And another stronger culture, as I said, the Wari culture that came from Ayacucho, subdued the Nascas. That was the end of this. Anyway, why leaving so many of these spirals? I mean, the distance between one well of spiral shape, they call it breathing windows or eyes, the distance between one and the other is quite close. It's between 15 to 25 meters away. So why so close by? Because people go down there when off rainy season, people go down there to do the cleaning, because it brings a lot of sand, and it grows certain stuff down there. So it has to be cleaned up, especially right before the rainy season. It has to be cleaned up. So guys go in there, especially obviously tiny guys, go in there, okay, to do the cleaning, provided with a sack, okay, they start cleaning up, okay, and if some of the rock has collapsed, it's fixed, okay. So they got light and air, okay, so they can go down there without no trouble, okay. So some people ask why they leave in so many of these things, because the water was coming up all the way. No, water comes in summer time, and the agriculturists prepare the land, so they are waiting for these big volume water coming, okay. So if they do come, they have the reservoir, they have it open, okay, so the water flows, without no trouble, so it doesn't go up, okay, to destroy the aqueduct. So they clean it to make the water flow without no trouble, okay. So that is the idea of leaving these wells, on the underground portion, okay. This is the underground portion. We saw the open trench portion and part of the reservoir. We're going up to see afterwards. So the underground portion is cut up in 2 arms, okay, like this. How many of these wells or breathing windows? In total, 13. The distance of the aqueduct is 435 meters long. Something like 335 underground canal and 100 meters open trench. Okay, so we're going to see the point where this underground canal cuts up in 2 arms, and I believe it was done like that in order to capture, more volume of water. I believe, they made it like this, in the direction where the water comes from. Okay, let's go up and have a look.
Sorry, sir, how many people were living in this area to get the water?
In this area, well, there are agricultures. There is, let's say, an hacienda or a ranch close by. Who knows? 300-500 or so people.
And how long did it take them to do all this?
Well,
Like 20 years?
it is no fixed time.